change the lesson. Now start.
Um, good evening, everyone. Trust you had a wonderful day. Okay, so right about now we about to commence our piano masterclass. So please, I need us to be very focused and pay attention to what we are going to be showing you today, and then just follow. Like I said, it's step by step. So gradually you get it. So just follow with your writing materials. If you have a piano, follow with your piano. If you don't have a piano, make sure you take notes. Take notes. So, all right. Once again, good evening. My name is Xavier Mitchell. So I'm going to be your instructor for today. All right. So starting you are allowed to drop your questions on the comment box. So whatever question you have, drop it on the comment section. Towards the end of the class, we are going to be attending to all questions. Okay, so we are moving in to the class properly right away. All right, so we're going to be talking about the piano. And then we'll talk about the keyboard. All right. Some of us have this misunderstanding. We call the whole of the piano the keyboard. The keyboard is actually a part of the piano. The keyboard is this black and white keys, while the piano is the whole of this material we have here. So this is a keyboard and this is a piano. So the keyboard is actually part of the piano. All right. So the piano has different functions. We might not have enough time to go into details on the functions but I'm going to share with us some vital functions of the piano. A moderate piano, you would always have, in a moderate piano, you always have the volume. In a moderate piano, you will always have the volume, most cases by your left hand side, and then you see a lot of buttons, but there are some buttons I would just quickly tell us about, which are the tone buttons. You see where they write numbers in some piano, but in the case of this piano, this is an advanced piano. This the latest PSR of Yamaha SX is the latest PSR. We have E series, we have S series, we have SX, and then we have X. So you see tones. Tones are the sound. So when you input any of the tone, you get the sound you're looking for. So like for this piano, we have E piano, we have grand piano, different kinds of tone. And then you always see where they write dual, where they write harmony, different types of functions depending on your piano. So basically, we are not going to be talking much about the functions of the piano, but we want to talk about the keyboard, which is the main place your work is as a pianist. So I don't know, for some of us that have done a piano class before, some of us have started, some of us have little knowledge. I want you to unlearn right now to relearn, okay? So because I'm going to start us from the foundation. What is the foundation? The foundation is that you understand that your piano is an electronic instrument. Your piano is an electronic instrument because it uses electricity or power to make sound. Okay, so without power, the piano cannot sound. That's the first thing you must understand. Unlike the guitar is a string instrument. Unlike the percussion, which is the drums, conga, which and unlike a wind instrument, the trumpet, all of those can sound without electricity. But the piano is an electronic instrument because it uses, so some persons still classify it as percussion because you're playing it with your hands. Okay, so but don't get confused. You can call it percussion because you play it with hands. What are percussion? Percussion are those instruments you play with the use of hands or sticks. Okay, all right. So moving in, the piano is more like the center of all other instruments. Why do I say so? Because inside the piano, you can have your bass guitar. Inside the piano, you can have your lead guitar. You can have all the violin. You can have all other the woodwind and every other instrument are in this piano. So if you become a good pianist, that means you have little knowledge about every other instrument. So that's a good thing about the piano. All right. So can we move directly to what we want to do today? Now, looking at the keyboard, looking at the keyboard, you notice that we have a set of white and black keys. We have a set of white and black keys. Now, you need to understand that every average keyboard you see, except the longer ones, which are 6 octaves, 6.5, 7 octave, but every average 4 octave or 5 octave keyboard you see starts with what we call C. We call it C. Call it C. I'm going to explain better what I mean by C. Before we move to that, let me talk about what I mean by octave. Okay? For some of us that don't have any knowledge about the keyboard is built on what we call octaves. The keyboard is built on what we call octave. So in music, octave is your eighth note. Please, that's a note to take. Octave is your eighth note. In music, octave is your eighth note. So whenever I count on the piano, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I've counted one octave. All right? I count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've counted 2 octave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've counted 3 octave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've counted 4 octave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've counted 5 octave. So I can boldly say that this keyboard is a 5 octave keyboard. All right. So this keyboard is a 5 octave keyboard. Why? Because it has 8 notes into 5. Now, I made a statement that your keyboard is built on octaves. So that simply means that from this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, this is all you have as notes on the keyboard. Every other octave are actually repetition of the same note you have here. For instance, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 1, this is 8. Most people, and you start with this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this become 1 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This become 1. Your 8 becomes 1. So if I play this 1 and play this 1, it's definitely going to sound the same. Listen to the sound. So if I decide to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you hear that? It gives you the same sound. I can decide to extend to 1, 2, 3, 4. What you'll be hearing is that some notes are higher than some. Some notes sound higher while some sound lower. Okay, so that's how your keyboard is built. It's built on octaves. Your keyboard is built on octaves. What is an octave? Octave is your eighth note in music. Octave is your eighth note in music. So now there's something very unique in music that we have to talk about, and that is musical keys. Musical keys. A lot of us that are singers must have been hearing play on C, give me key F, give me key G, give me key, and all of that. So what do we actually mean by all those key? A, key G, key, and so that's the next thing we're going to be talking about. Now, keys are the meaning of keys musically. Keys are selected alphabets used in interpreting musical sounds. Okay, I'll take that again for those of us that are jotting. I hope I'm not too fast. Keys are selected alphabets used in interpreting musical sound. So take note of the word selected alphabet. Take note of the word selected alphabet. Keys are selected alphabet used in interpreting musical sound. So I can give you another definition. I can choose to tell you that keys are I can choose to tell you that keys are selected alphabet that gives you access to a particular song. That's a layman understanding. What when you hear the word key, key actually gives you access to your house, gives you access to a door that is locked. So when you have the key to the door, you can access the house. Same thing is applicable to music. If you can have the key to that song, you can access the song. So that simply means if you don't have the key to the particular song I'm singing, you don't have the right to play the song. Because if you try playing it on another key, that's where we will result to a flat or off key. So are we following? Keys are selected alphabet used in interpreting musical sound, or keys are selected alphabet that gives you access to a particular song. So I sing a particular song. What makes you able to play the song as a pianist with me as a singer is that you know the key I'm singing on. All right. I believe someone is getting something already. Understand keys, because the result of not understanding key as a musician will land you on off notes, flat keys, off keys. So take your time to understand keys. So I take you back to the keyboard. Since we say keys are selected alphabet, what are these alphabets? The alphabet are actually from alphabet A to G. Those are the selected alphabet, A to G. So we have A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. That makes it how many? 7 keys. 7 keys. And these 7 keys, we call them major key. So the first type of keys I'm introducing is the major key. So you can take that, major keys. Major keys. Major keys, as the name implies, are the most important keys. Major keys, as the name implies, are the most important keys. So just like someone saying something is major, what are they saying? Is very important. So the key A to G are most important because they are the major keys. All right. So we have other types of keys which I'm going to introduce shortly, but let's talk about the major keys, which is A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So if you're asked how many types of major keys, how many major keys do we have? We have 7 major keys. That's A to G. We have 7 major keys in music generally. That's A to G. All right. So, but coming down to your keyboard, like I told you before, your keyboard is built on what? Octaves. And your keyboard is built on a set of white and black notes. So we are looking at the white note first. And all your 4 octave or 5 octave keyboard always starts with a C. They don't start with A, but they start with C. All right. Unlike alphabets A, B, C, D, but for keyboard, most 4 octave and 5 octave keyboard, you always start with what? C. So that means the first note on your left hand side of your keyboard, the first white note is a C. The first white note is what? A C. All right. So if you were to arrange it alphabetically, after C you have the next white note will be what? D. Alphabetical order. So we have the C, we have the D, we have the E, we have the F, we have the G, we have the A. So when you get to G, you notice what happened when we got to G. We didn't have to go to H because there's nothing like key H. So when you get to G, what happens is that you return back to A, then you do your B, and the eighth note becomes C. So you remember when we were counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 becomes 1. That means this 8 becomes C. So you have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and back to C. So you can still have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and back to C. So if you have C, D, E, F, you now have, remember this is another C. 8 count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is another C. You can have C, D, E, F. So I'm playing F, I'm playing F. Did you hear that? But if I try playing C, D, E, F, G, C, D, E, F, did you hear the difference in sound? That means I'm playing a different thing here and a different thing here. But if I move C, D, E, F, G, C, D, E, F, G, you hear that it's sounding the same. Like I told you before, that all these keys are actually repetition of what you have here. It's just that what is in this next octave is lighter than what is in the first octave. And what is in the third octave is lighter than what is in the second and first octave. Just like that, the note gets lighter. So I believe we are understanding. So if you're having any challenge, write down your questions. We'll attend to all. If you're having any challenge, just keep writing them down. We'll attend to all questions. Okay. So I want to believe I'm not too fast and we are getting it. So back to our major keys. Remember, we have 7 major keys in music. That's A to G. But on the keyboard, it is arranged from C to B, right? C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and back to C. Good. So now, having talked about our major keys being the white keys, what is then our black keys? All right. So if we all agree that our major keys are actually the white keys, then the black keys, there's the other 2 types of keys we have. We call them the sharp and flat keys. All right. We call them the sharp and flat keys. Okay, sorry for that. 1 minute silence. Okay, so we call them the sharp and flat keys. So sharp keys are actually, as the name implies, when you say something is sharp, you're like saying something is adding in value, is moving up, is sharp, adding in value. So sharp keys are actually simply keys ahead of sharp keys are actually keys ahead of your major keys. Sharp keys are actually keys ahead of your major keys. So when you say something is sharp, you're actually saying that it is okay. So sorry about that. I think I had little network issues right now. So let's continue. When you say that something is sharp, what you actually mean is it's adding in value. So if this is C, like we all agreed already that this is C, right? So a black key ahead of C will become a sharp key to C. So when we are talking of sharp keys, we are not borrowing any other alphabet. Excuse me. We are not borrowing any other alphabet to make it sharp or flat. We are using our existing major keys. So that's why we say the major keys are the most important. The major keys are the most important because from major you get sharp, from major you get flat. All right. So let's check. Now we have this C. the black key ahead of C is actually what we call C sharp. So the black key ahead of C is C sharp. Then when you have D, the black key ahead of D is D sharp. When you have E, you have F. That simply means musically, we are meant to believe we don't have, E does not have a sharp. Because you can see in between E and F, there's no black key. So we have C sharp, D sharp, there's no E sharp. This is F. We have F sharp. This is G. We have G sharp. This is A. We have A sharp. So altogether we have how many sharp? 5 sharps. I'm going to go through the sharp again. We have C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, and A sharp. Okay, I'll take that one more time. We have C sharp ahead of C. The black key ahead of C is C sharp. D, the black key ahead of D, D sharp. E and F are together, so there's no E sharp. Then we have F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp. So remember we agreed we have how many major keys? 7. Now we have how many sharp keys? 5. So, but then I mentioned another type of key, which is flat keys. Okay, so looking at the one octave we are working on, we are already exhausted because we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and we have C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, and A sharp. So the octave is exhausted. Where are we putting our sharp keys? Or sorry, our flat keys? It's very simple. Musically, we have 2 types of movement. We have ascending order and we have descending order. So music can never be complete without these 2 types of movement. You cannot go without coming back in music. So now, ascending order, we found out that all our black keys were actually sharp keys. Now, descending order, that's going from your right back to your left, the same black keys will become flat keys. Please pay attention to this. This is a point where a lot of people get confused. So going from your left upward, the black keys are sharp keys to the corresponding major key. All right. Then going from your right hand downward, the same black keys becomes flat keys to the corresponding major key. So let's prove this. We said that this is C, this is C sharp, this is D, this is D sharp, this is E, this is F, this is F sharp, this is G, this is G sharp, this is A, this is A sharp, and this is B. B and C are together, so they don't have sharp. All right, so let's count backward. This is B, remember. So if this is B, this is B sharp. This is B flat, rather. We are going back. When you're going back, it's flat. So if this is B, this is B flat. If this is A, this is A flat. If this is G, this is G flat. So F does not have a flat because there's no note here. If this is E, this is E flat. If this is D, this is D flat. So just like the sharp has 5, the flat has 5. Let's go on the flat now. B, B flat. A flat. G flat. F, E, no flat. So E flat. D flat. I'll take that again. B flat. A flat. G flat. E and F are together, so no flat for F. E flat. D and D flat. So that gives us 5 sharp, 5 flat, 7 major. Altogether, how many keys do we have in music? 7 major keys, 5 flat keys, and 5 sharp keys. So we are meant to understand that we have 10 plus 7, that's 17 keys. But I'm going to prove to you that we actually have 12 keys, not 17. All right. When it comes to pitch, we have 12 keys. Pitch is sound. But when it comes to when it comes to alphabet or when it comes to theory, we can say we have how many? 17. According to what we have proven here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then coming back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 10 sharp, 7 sharp, 5 flat, 5, 7 major rather, 5 sharp, 5 flat. So let's quickly illustrate something on the board very quickly. So just for a better understanding, I'm going to show you. I just hope we are seeing clearly. So if you don't know how to draw I'll be drawing a 1-octave keyboard. What you draw like you're drawing a table. So if you're with your book and biro, please do this first. Do this, because if I complete the drawing, you get confused. So do this first. Then after doing this, the next thing you do is this. You put 2 boxes, and you not allow the box to get to the first line you drew. Then you put another long line that will get to this first line. So you can even close this box. So you notice that the box inside didn't get here. So this line, then you now draw another 3 boxes. 2 and 3. Alright, so now you put a line at the center of the box touching this, your last line. Put another line, put another line, put another line, and put another line. So we call this the beginning of our keyboard C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and you can have your C, which is a continuation. All right, so you can choose to halfly shade this to understand that this is a black key, right? So this is a black key, this is a black key, this is a black key. At the end of the day, we must have 5 blacks. So trying to show us something. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, I said that when you are going from your left hand to your right, the black keys are what? Sharp. When you're going from your left hand upward, the black keys are what? Sharp. So if this is C, this key will first of all be what? C sharp. Okay? If this is D, this key will be what? D sharp. Now, notice I use this for my sharp. Hash sign. Hash sign is sharp sign in music. Hash. Hash. So that's sharp sign. So whenever you see a key like this, and this is added to it, it actually makes this from C to C sharp. All right? So let's continue. So if this is E, remember I told us there's no E sharp. So you can see that this is E. We don't have any black key on top of E. So this is F. We move to F sharp. This is G, G sharp. This is A sharp. Giving us a total number of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sharp. That's okay. So now let's come from our right hand downward. Okay. Remember, we're going from left. Now let's go from. I told us that music is ascending and descending. So let's descend. This is B, right? If this is B, this will be what? B flat. If this is A, this will be what? A flat. So this small letter B is used to identify flats. So if you have a key like this and you have this, It means this is A flat. All right. So let's continue. This is G. This is G flat. F, E. This is E flat. And this is D flat, according to the notes before it. Okay. So now, notice something here, that we have all the black keys are now having two different names. All right. So there's something I want to teach us very quickly, which is called enharmonic. Enharmonic. Harmonic. Enharmonic. Enharmonic keys. So what are enharmonic keys? Enharmonic keys are those keys that have two different names but one sound. Please pay attention. Enharmonic keys are those keys that have two different names that but one sound. An example of enharmonic keys is what? This first key. It has two different names. So you can call this key C sharp. You can still call this key D flat. Right? But if I ask you play your C sharp on the keyboard, you play here. If I ask you play your C sharp, you play here. Right? Then if I still ask you play your D flat, you still play here. Did you hear two names but the same sound? So this is actually called enharmonic key. Enharmonic keys are those keys that has two different names but the same sound. If I ask you to play, this is D. If I ask you to play D sharp, you play here. If I ask you to play E flat, you still play here. So it is an enharmonic key because it has two different names but one sound. So if you want to sum these keys together, you realize that we are going to have C, D, E, F, G, A, B as 7 major keys. Then we will now have C sharp stroke D flat, D sharp stroke E flat, F sharp stroke G flat, G sharp stroke A flat, A sharp stroke B flat. So these all keys are enharmonic. They are your sharp and flat. They are your sharp and flat, but they are your enharmonic keys. These keys are your enharmonic. They are your sharp and flat, but they are your enharmonic keys because it has, because it has two different names but one sound. If you have your piano with you, you can try this. You can try this out if you have your piano. So from here, you can start to C, D, E, F, G, A, B, right? So if this is C, D, E, F, G, A, this is A, this is A sharp. So this is B, this is B flat. So play A sharp, play B flat. Do you get that? So either A sharp or B flat, it is the same thing you're playing. It is the same thing you're playing. So moving ahead, we now understand what we have as our keys: sharp keys, flat keys, major keys, and harmonic keys. So I can sum this to 12 because looking at this keyboard, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 keys. Why am I summing it to 12? Because these 5 keys will give you 5 sounds. Excuse me. Even if they have different names, but they have one sound. That is what we call enharmonic keys. All right. So take note. If you have a question, jot it down somewhere while we move further. Okay. So having understand keys now, having understand the keys of the keyboard. So I want to extend what I just did on one octave. I'll extend it to the other octave. Remember I told you everything you have here are repetition of this. That simply means if I have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, all right, I'll still have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So that means C, C sharp, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, D, D sharp. So they are all repetition of what you have been doing before. All right. Okay. So having understand your position of keys, how to calculate your octave, how to understand your position of keys from C to C, C to C, C to C, C to C, C to C. All right. So I want to show us what we call the middle C. So we are being taught that the middle C is the center of the keyboard. The middle C is the center of the keyboard. So the middle C is always called your C2. If you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, this is 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, this is C2. I'll take that again. 1, 2, okay, let's count it on keys. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. Start from here again. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. So I counted one C here, one C here. So this is meant to be the center of this keyboard. Now, what is the job of this place? It actually separates your right hand to your left hand. So that means every note that has to do with this place below is for your left hand. Every note that has to do with this middle C above is for your right hand. Do you understand? So middle C is assumed to be the center of the keyboard. Middle C is assumed to be the center of the keyboard. How do you get your middle C? I counted C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. 1. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. 2. So we call it C2. C2 is the center of your keyboard. So moving ahead, I'm going to give us 2 simple exercises for finger flexibility. Please follow. 2 simple exercises for finger flexibility. So back to our middle C. We are going to start with our middle C now. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. 1. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. 2. So I put my thumb on where I stopped. Do you see that? My thumb. So we are made to understand that our fingers are numbered, are numbers in music. Our fingers are numbered. The thumb is 1. The next finger is 2. This is 3. This is 4. And this is 5. So this is 1. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. And this is 5. So this exercise I want to show you. You can actually do it without the piano. You can do it on any plain surface. So all you just need to do is put your hand on a plain surface like this. And all you need to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So can we do that together? Can we do that together? All right. So let's try. I don't want to use the keyboard, so you will not say I'm using the keyboard. So let me use a plain surface. Let me use a plain surface. Okay. Watch this now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. So if you did that, you might find it challenging at the initial stage, but keep doing it. Keep practicing. This is without the keyboard. keep practicing. But if you have the keyboard, all you need to do is on your middle C, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2. So this is the first exercise for finger flexibility. This is the first exercise for finger flexibility. Now, by the time you start it very slow, please start it very slow. 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2. If you don't have a keyboard, make sure you're doing it on a plain surface. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. So gradually you can increase the speed, but start it very slow. The good thing about music is not how fast you can play, is how accurate you can be. Okay, so now trying out our left hand, we are going to count from the first C. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So we stop here. Our left hand will now start with 5 5 5 4 3 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1 2 3 4 and 5 4 3 2 1 2 3 4 and 5. Remember what I said, start it very slow as a beginner, very slow. All right, so don't rush. 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 and left hand. 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2. Okay, so that's how you play your first fingering exercise. First fingering exercise. I'm going to take that again one more time. Please, if you don't have a keyboard, use a plain surface and keep doing it. Keep doing it. 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2. So gradually you get to where you can increase your speed, like but you have to start from somewhere. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 and 1. I'll take my left hand for the last time. 5 For remember where I'm taking my left hand from. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or you count C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. You take your left hand from here. And you're taking from your finger 5, your smallest finger. So one finger at a time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's where we are going to stop on this exercise for today. But for next class, we'll try to combine both hands. So you have to practice this over and over again. So we move to the next fingering exercise. Which is still going to help your flexibility. This time around, you're going to start from your first C. Do you see that? So I put one of my hand, my last finger here. I leave a space. Do you see what I did here? I leave this note. All right? I left this note behind. So I did this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So what you notice, I left just one note. I'll take that again. I left this. Do you see that? So I can put my hand on the next octave. Let's try our right hand now. Our right hand. So this and this, not this and this. You leave one note. So if you play C, you leave D to E. So C, E. Did you see that? So when I come back here, I'm going to explain that, okay? So just follow what I'm doing. I will explain now. You notice I'm going up. Alright, so let me go back to C. This is C. Okay? Then I played this and this. So C, E, F, G, A. C, E, F, G, A. Back to G, F, E, then D now. Remember the first one I started with C. So this next one I landed on D. I'll now do the same thing. So if you start with C, as you're coming back, you're going to land on D. You're going to land on E. Next one, you land on F. Next one, you land on then you keep going. You can go till you get to the end of the keyboard. Just like that. Okay, so I'll explain that again. Follow. So I start with my C. Okay, I start with my C and I left one note. I left my D. I go to my E. So after my E, I'm playing all the notes there. After my E, I'm playing all E, F, G, A. So the only note I'm leaving behind is my D. But now when I'm coming back, I will now start with that D I left behind. So look at it. C, I left D. E, F, G, A, back to G, F, E, and I land on D now that I left. When I played my D, I leave E to F. So this is another exercise for flexibility. So this is another exercise for flexibility. You start it gradually till you can play faster. All right? You start it gradually. This is how it will sound. So for today, try your right hand first. Did you see that? Leave one note. Okay? So you can go like so, but you have to start from somewhere. What I did now is a result of constant practice. So so this is your fingering exercises. Remember the first one. The first one is your 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm starting with a C, middle C. The second one is you leave D now. Almost the same thing, but the difference between this one and the first one is the first one you play everything together, but this particular one now you play and leave one note. You move, you move, you move, you move. So please, if you have your piano with you, even if it's not sounding or it's sounding, do these two exercises. And if you have any question on the keys, kindly indicate while I move to the last thing we are going to be doing today before we call it a night. I don't want to give us too much to carry for today because it's the beginning of the class. So please drop your questions on the group chat, and if you have challenges connecting, drop on the group chat so we can work on it. If you have any challenges, let us know. Today is the first day, so we are still trying to put things in order. So please, I will go through, I'll do a quick recap of the class, and then I think we should just call it a night here so that the next class we deal on scale. The next class we deal on scale. Scale is very important. In fact, the two things that make up piano is scales and chords. Scales and chords. Scale and chords. So if you can understand your scales perfectly well, understand your chords perfectly well, you'll be a good pianist. All right. So we start from talking about the keys on the keyboard. So, and we come to an agreement that we have three types of keys on the keyboard. We have the major keys, we have the sharp keys, and we have the flat keys. All right. So the major keys are how many? 7, which is you start from your C to your B, which is C, D, E, F, G, A, B. C, which is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, right? So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, which is your major. Then the sharp keys are the keys ahead of the major. As if you're going from your left hand upward, all the black keys are what? Sharp. If you're going from your left hand upward, all the black keys are sharp. C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp. So if you're going from your left hand downward, all the black keys become what? Flat. B, B flat, A flat, G, G flat, F, E flat, D flat. So I believe we all got that. And the keyboard is built on octave. I taught us how to calculate the octave of the keyboard. Calculate 8 notes, 8 notes, 8 notes, and then you have how many octaves it's your keyboard. So we talked about the fingering exercise. Told us the first fingering exercise, making use of your 5 fingers. 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1. Then left hand, 5 4 3 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1 2. So that is that for that. So I would pause the class here because I would like to get our feedback first, and then we know where to improve on and what we need to put in place to make it better. Because if I move to scale now, and so maybe some of you are having challenges, I don't know, you might not really understand. So I'll pause the class here. I want everybody to speak. What are your challenges? What are your questions? Let's deal with it and we fix our next class. So thank you very much for joining tonight. I hope you learned something. Just hope you learned something. So please, you can find a keyboard in your church tomorrow, next tomorrow, being Wednesday, to practice this. Practice. Whenever you see any keyboard, the first thing you should consider is the octave. How many octave is the keyboard? Calculate it. You know how to calculate your middle C. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, middle C. Then you play your fingering exercise, right hand, left hand. Please keep doing that till we have our next class. All right, thank you very much. I'm going to attend to all questions after now. Thank you.